Alright, hello Track Gang, and welcome to vlog 33. I'm thinking. Might be. I didn't look. It happens to be the 29th of August, 2022. I'm Ray, and welcome to the Boeville, Newtown. I got a bit of a mail call. This is an interesting one, because I actually ordered some of this a while back, and I've been using it. And then when I started doing the shorts, when I'm rail fanning the bridge, I use my cell phone. I know there's probably other ways to do it. I could probably use this camera here too, but it was just easier to do it that way. Not to mention the fact that you can only go so far, and it cuts it off anyway. So that's great. I ran into a bit of a conundrum, and that is the fact that normally the ring light sits in front of this camera. In other words, the lens is on me, and then the ring light is around that lens. I need the ring light when I'm doing the shorts, which presented a bit of a problem because of the way that I have this set up. It wasn't conducive to breaking it down and moving it. So what I decided to do, because Heath, and I can actually blame Heath for this one, but this was a good blame Heath. He had mentioned about quick connects or quick disconnects, however you want to put it. And they're put out by a company called Newer. I think that's how you pronounce it. And all it really is you get one of these, which is the actual base, and then you get a plate. And I should have opened, or at least gotten this out of the bag, but so then you also get one of these, which is the plate. This goes underneath the camera or whatever, and then when you want to do something, you just go ahead and you slide the base, or I'm sorry, the plate. And because of the fact that I don't have anything on this, the screw was down too far. So you put the plate into the base, and then you just tighten down the thumb screw, and it holds it in place. So what I did is I actually went and bought 2 more bases, because I needed them so I could move the ring light, which I have already got a plate on it. The one live camera that I use, which is this guy, has already got a plate on it along with a pedestal. And then I've got a couple other pieces that I do the same thing with, and you'll have to excuse me. If one is to record or go live, it's better to have the basement door shut. Anyway, so now I've got a couple of options with this stuff. This base, is actually going to end up on here, and then the other base is going to end up on the small tripod, which is the one that I use for the live cam. This one, the live camera, and also when I do the shorts with the ring light. So that's kind of the rig there. Now, while we're at it, Grandpa Rails went ahead and sent me a package as well. I already know what this is, and I know I'm probably going to get chastised for it, but that's fine, because I've been using this stuff for years, so, and I don't have an issue with it. And he said he had some and would gladly ship it to me, so he did. Let's see what we've got in here, shall we? And we have got a box of brass track. Again, I know some folks are going to be like, why? But like I said, I don't have too much issue with it. You know, ever since I started cleaning with the mineral spirits, I haven't had anywhere near the issues I had in the past. So we've got a couple of left-hand switches in here. We got a bunch of stuff in here. And this is nice. This is good. I like this. I'm liking. So this here looks to be 22-inch radius. Even better. And of course, I'm sure somebody's going to say, why? Because that's what I run. I run 22-inch radius, and boy do I need switch machines. This is excellent. This is awesome. So I'll go through this and I'll inventory what all is here, and yeah. Thank you, JD. I appreciate this, dude. And like I said, the next time we catch up, a couple special water towers are on me, bud. I know I owe you a couple by now. I know I owe you a couple by now. So that's basically been it. Like I said, I'll go through and I'll inventory this box off camera and see exactly what it is that we've got. But somebody had asked me, or actually Heath had asked me, why do you want the track? You going to build something else with it? I'm like, no. This is parts for the future expansion. I know I've kind of touched on it in the past, but one of the things eventually, not going to happen anytime soon, that I'd like to go over that way a little bit. I'd also like to sneak into this area where I'm standing a little bit, and I'd also like to go ahead and build that dry dock scene, or that wharf scene, over by the bar. So this here is all parts for that. And not to mention the fact that I've also got some replacements, because some of my stuff was starting to get a little thin, namely on the switches. That's why the other night when Heath said, I'll get all these old brass switches, I'm like, I'll take them. I'll take them. I can use those. In one way, shape, form, or another, I can use those. So, anyway. That's basically all I've got at the moment. I think what we're actually going to get into possibly this week, I did pick up some other stuff. I'm not sure if I want to go back and start tackling some more of the scenery on Boeville, or if I'm going to hold off a bit, and I'll tell you why. Here it is the other day. Actually, it was yesterday. My daughter was down here for a bit, and she was asking me about the backdrop. And I was like, well, I haven't really come to a really good plan for the backdrop yet. And she started looking at it, and then she had an idea of using picture hanger wire, so that way it could be removable. As you know, one of the things that I'm trying to keep with this layout is if I ever have to move it, it will come apart. I want to make sure that the backdrop is the same way. It has to be able to be removable. So, after a little bit of brainstorming, like I said, she talked about picture hanger wire and just kind of looping it around the the 2x4s in the back, the more I thought about it, I am going to go over and I'm going to use the Masonite. I think the Masonite's definitely the way to go. The foam core is a heck of a lot lighter. It's also a heck of a lot cheaper, but that's the problem. It's a heck of a lot cheaper, and it also doesn't come in a long enough length. You know, one of these sections over here is probably close to, in fact, I think I measured it, it's like 16 feet. So to do the foam core, considering it comes in like 2 or 4 foot sheets, is not going to be, you're going to be there forever. And not to mention the fact that I have to put up more uprights, which I'm not doing. I've already got the uprights where I want them. That's it. So then it comes, you know, how do you hold them up there? And still make them removable. That's the key, is making them removable. I have another issue down at Boeville. I'll discuss that one here in a minute. So I was thinking about her idea, and I'm like, you know what? That's not bad, but I've got another idea. I'm hoping I can still find them. I'm certain that they still make them, or the hook and loop, where you, if you wanted to secure a door and that doesn't have a lock, using those to hold the back, to actually hold the backdrop against the 2x4s. Not so much at the bottom, more or less at the top. I've got an idea for the bottom part, and I'll talk to you more about that here in a second. But basically the upper part, how do you do that without having it being removable? So that I'm thinking about using those little hook and loop pieces. The bottom would actually be a U-channel. So it would actually just slot in at the bottom so it can't bow, and then the top would be held in with those hooks. And of course I would brace the whole back side of it with some sort of a batten. You know, something not real thick, but thick enough that it's not going to allow the foam or the Masonite to bend, which that's one of the things I'm noticing with the one test piece that I've got sitting over here. It is because I don't have it secured on the one side, it is bending a little bit. But let's go down to Boeville and let me discuss with you what I've got in mind for down there, because that one's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so I created a bit of a conundrum back here when I did this. And that is the board that sits here, where Double Rock Park is, actually is under the backdrop. Well, there's a couple of ways to fix that. One would be to go ahead and actually cut the board to where, you know, this part was underneath of this backdrop, and then the other part's underneath the other part of the backdrop. That's going to be a pain in the butt. So again, like I was talking about before with the U-channel, put a U-channel at the bottom, and I put a U-channel at the top, up here, and I can slide the backdrop in. Now, that's a good thing, and not to mention the fact that this, the way this is going to work over here, I don't want to use the Masonite because it's going to be too heavy, not to mention the fact that I've only got 3 feet between the backdrop and the wall. So, you know, considering the fact most of those are in 4-foot sections, that's not going to work. So if I do this in 2-foot sections, this thing is spider web. If I do these in 2-foot sections like these are, I can slide it out, move it out of the way, and then I can actually take the this section of Boeville up, and then I can get to what I need to get to. So that's the thoughts over here. Alright, Trek Gang, well, I know there wasn't a whole lot to this video this week. Sorry, I did get through inventory and some of what JD sent me. Again, I appreciate it. Couple of things of note. First thing is, it's now September the 1st. The contest is now closed. And there's a slight change to Sidetrack Sunday in September. Jason and I are going to switch, so it's going to go John, Heath, me, and then Jason's going to take the end of the month, namely because I've got something that came up, and we're going to switch weekends, which actually works out good for him too, because apparently he's got a scout thing that weekend. So perfect. Anywho, so that I will probably end up doing the contest drawing on that, and I didn't even look to see what the heck the date was. That probably would have been a good thing. Let's see. No, not clock. Date. Jeez. Alright, so John's got the 4th, Heath has the 11th, I'll have the 18th, and then Jason will have the 25th. So the 18th of September, that Sidetrack Sunday, which I will now be hosting, we'll have the drawing for the 500 subscriber contest. So stick around and watch for that. The only other thing that I've got is, I'm sure everybody probably is aware by now. If they're not, then I'm sorry that I have to be the messenger. But Nathan Klein, Just Nate, or that used to do Narrow Minded Mondays, apparently passed away, I think it was Tuesday. So keep his family in your prayers. Yeah, I only got to meet him once. He was a nice guy. Helped him when we were up at Steamtown, getting on and off the dinner train. But yeah, that's a tough one. I know he had a lot of different issues, and just prayers for him and his family. And you know, unfortunately, it is, you know. Hate to lose people, you know, you really do. And like I said, I know he had a lot of health problems. I know he had a stroke that basically, for the most part, had him in a wheelchair a lot of the time, and so on and so forth. But still, nice guy. Got a chance to talk to him quite a bit when we were up at Steamtown. But yeah, again, keep his family and friends in your prayers. And on that note, you all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you all next time. Be safe. God bless. We'll see you.